morning. It is Monday, April 24th. Here's what we're working on. Pope Francis has died. 88-year-old pontiff had been recovering after a lengthy stay in hospital for double pneumonia.
Today is the last day advance polls will be open for next Monday's federal election.
And the Leafs have won Game 1 of the Battle of Ontario in the NHL playoffs against Ottawa. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. So nice to have you on the desk again
nice
today.
To be here. Nice to start off the week with both you, Brian, and we also have Sean Cowan here this morning. So, yeah.
On a day when some people are off, some people are not.
Yeah.
Schools are closed today.
It's more, should we say more normal? It's getting back toward being normal after a long, of course, everybody was off on Friday, most people for Good Friday, and then you had Easter Sunday yesterday. Today, it's going to get back to it. Schools are out, of course, so most people back at work today. But if you're off, hey, what are you doing up? And enjoy the day today. It's a minute after 6. As far as the forecast is concerned for the day, we're sitting on the plus side to start the day. We're at 3 right now, but wait, we're going to go to 18 later on today, so it's going to be a lot milder than yesterday. Yesterday we got to 11. We had the lovely sunshine. Today we're not going to see as much sun. We have a warm front coming through. That's what's going to push the temperatures up. But we're going to get clouds, showers, possible thunderstorms, and pretty windy conditions as well today as the day goes on. Tomorrow we'll get back into a bit of sunshine a bit. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Traffic this morning, well, right front and center, we have a disabled vehicle off to the side there, but that's on the service road, of course. 403 Waterdown Road on the 403, that is doing okay. Still pretty light volume. To a few MTO traffic cameras. Red Hill Creek camera, Toronto bound towards us. Nothing there. Same with the top of the Skyway as we advance to third line, going through Burlington, Oakville, all the way through Mississauga. Nothing happening on the roads right now. We'll look at weather and traffic, of course, in detail in a few minutes for you. Right now, the news.
Okay, shocking news this morning. The leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, has died. The Vatican made the announcement early this morning, saying Francis has, quote, returned to the home of the Father. Sean Cowan joins us now at the Diocese of Hamilton with more. Sean?
Annette, Pope Francis was 88 years old, and despite his recent health issues, he did make a rare appearance yesterday. This was Easter weekend, so he appeared in front of a group of thousands yesterday at St. Peter's Square, giving a traditional Easter blessing. Have a listen.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buona Pasqua.
Pope Francis gave the traditional Easter blessing, appearing from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica in front of the crowd. The Pope said, "Dear brothers and sisters, happy Easter." Francis recently spent 38 days in the hospital with double pneumonia, where he came close to death. Yesterday was the highest profile appearance since being discharged from the hospital. Pope Francis is originally from Argentina and shook the Catholic Church's traditions and inspired progress by reaching out to gay people and being a champion for the rights of immigrants and the poor. Pope Francis came to Canada in July of 2022. The trip mainly focused on apologizing for the Catholic Church's role with residential schools and reconciliation with Indigenous people. Towards the end of his life, Francis battled a host of health issues that left him weakened and often forced him to rely on a wheelchair or a cane. Most recently, he struggled with pneumonia and bronchitis. At times, he needed his aides to help him with his speeches because he was out of breath. And Francis's body will be put on display in an open coffin in St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. His successor will be chosen by a gathering of cardinals whose job it is to elect a new pope. Simone, I will send it back inside to you.
Thanks, Sean. Family and friends gathered for a vigil to mourn the death of a Mohawk college student killed last week. 21-year-old Harsimrat Randhawa from India was struck by a stray bullet while waiting for a bus on Upper James Street Thursday night. Family members tell CHCH News that she was studying physiotherapy at Mohawk College and worked at a nearby McDonald's. Sunday's vigil was held at the site where Randhawa lost her life. A large crowd gathered to remember a beloved member of their community and family.
So innocent, like there was nothing. She was very simple. She didn't have social media. She was a very innocent girl. She just came here for a better future. You come here for a better future, but this starts happening on our streets every day, on a weekly basis. It's not acceptable.
There's a whole community in mourning for a young girl who was training to be a caregiver, to take care of other people.
The entire Mohawk community is absolutely saddened and devastated, and I would say probably at this moment still in a state of disbelief.
Police say an altercation resulted in the passenger of a black Mercedes SUV firing gunshots at the people in a white sedan. One of the gunshots hit Randawa in the chest while she was waiting at a bus stop on her way to work. She was then rushed to hospital where she later died of her injuries, and police say the investigation is still ongoing.
A record number of Canadians voted in advance polls over the weekend. Elections Canada says nearly 2 million people voted on Friday alone. The record turnout over the Easter long weekend led to some long lineups. Adjustments were made, though, to handle high traffic. Advance polling stations are open one more day today between 9 this morning and 9 tonight. The federal election is a week from today, April 28th.
Election Canada says your ballot will count whether you mark it with a pen or with a pencil. Posts on social media were encouraging voters to bring their own pen to polling stations to avoid the possibility of ballot tampering. Election Canada says that claim is false. Your mark can't be smudged or erased if you use a pencil. The agency is required to give voters a pencil when they arrive, but a pen would work just as well. Ballots are only unsealed when it's time to count on Election Day.
And with 1 week left in the campaign, party leaders focus this weekend on inflation, grocery store price gouging, and threats from the United States.
We will create more of what cash buys. We will unleash our economy by removing anti-development laws, red tape, and destructive taxes to add $500 billion of extra economic growth over the next 5 years. That will produce $70 billion in additional revenue for the government without higher taxes, but instead using higher growth.
We're going to take on any company that thinks they can jack up the price of Canadian products to exploit Canadians' pride right now. We're going to legislate to protect Canadians. We also are going to plan to where our plan includes putting in place a price cap on food essentials. This is an immediate step to bring down food prices for the essentials, for things that people need.
In this crisis, we have to prepare for America's threats to our very sovereignty. They want our land, our resources, they want our water, they want our country. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. And you're right, that will never happen.
Now, if the Liberals secure a fourth mandate, Mark Carney says his government would allocate nearly $31 billion to defense in the next 4 years to reach Canada's NATO defense spending target of 2% of gross domestic product by 2030. Now, today, Mark Carney is making stops in PEI, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has a news conference in Scarborough this morning. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh is campaigning across British Columbia. And Green Party co-leaders Elizabeth May and Jonathan Pedneau will spend the day canvassing in their respective ridings in BC and Quebec.
To Sportsline now, the Brantford Bulldogs have been eliminated from the OHL playoffs after the Generals beat them 4-1 in Game 6 yesterday in Oshawa.
Played by Barlow down the ice. Powell's going to win this race, though, to negate the icing. Spills down Budnick, who goes down hard. Griffin scores!
Oshawa's Owen Griffin scored twice, and Colby Barlow had a goal and 2 assists to help with the win. Luca Morelli also scored for the Generals, who won the second-round best-of-7 series. Marek Vanacker scored the lone goal for the Bulldogs. Generals goalie Jacob Oster made 21 saves, while Bulldogs goalie Ryerson Lenders stopped 25 shots.
The NHL playoffs are started, and the Leafs kicked it off on home ice with a big win in the Battle of Ontario.
Sends the line, Jensen ready to bump it back, ahead, lead, home free, Mitch Marner scores!
Mitch Mitch Marner had a goal and 2 assists as Toronto beat the Ottawa Senators 6-2 in Game 1 of their first-round series. William Nylander and John Tavares had a goal and an assist each. Austin Matthews added 2 assists, and goalie Anthony Stolarz stopped 31 shots. Game 2 goes tomorrow night, also at Scotiabank Arena, before shifting to Ottawa for the next couple of games.
Martinook, backhand feed knocked down by Nico Hischier. Martinook,
Logan Stankoven scored 2 second-period goals in his first playoff game with Carolina as the Hurricanes beat the New Jersey Devils 4-1 yesterday, and this was in their opening first round of the series. It was a quality start for Carolina, which had lost 7 of its last 8 regular season games since clinching its 7th straight playoff trip. Game 2 takes place tomorrow night.
Eriksson Ek, it looked like got a piece of that shot as Williams shot for his stick. Howden moves in, shoots, scores!
The Las Vegas Golden Knights opened their first-round Western Conference series with a 4-2 win over Minnesota. Brent Howden scored twice for the Knights to help with the win, and Matt Boldy scored both goals for the Wild. This series continues in Vegas tomorrow night.
Now, there are 4 games on deck tonight. The Montreal Canadiens will face off against the Washington Capitals for their first game of the best-of-7 series. Puck drops at 7 p.m. The St. Louis Blues will take on the Winnipeg Jets for Game 2 at 7:30. Game 2 for Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars starts at 9:30 tonight. And the Oilers and the LA Kings will meet for Game 1 at 10 p.m.
Well, Canada has lost to the United States in the gold medal game at the IIHF Women's World Championship.
Sarafilier is going to go for a change, and that's a tough one. A chance here for Heisey. Her shot, she scores!
Tessa Jenneke scored the overtime winner for the United States in their 4-3 win. This is the 11th time the U.S. has claimed the title at the Worlds. Canada still leads, though, the tournament with 13 gold medals. Cross-border rivals have met in the championship game in all but one tournament. That was in 2019 when host Finland beat Canada in the semifinals.
Okay, 6:12 is the time on this Easter Monday. Getting back at it, we'll check traffic first of all before we get into the forecast today. We do have a disabled vehicle right there on the service road, but that's not impeding any traffic at all. So the 403 moving nicely, so nothing to see. That's our exclusive camera doing fine. Show you some MTO traffic cameras. Now, good news, there was a collision right there, center of your screen, heading away from us. That would be Niagara bound. We had a couple of vehicles in collision, but that just cleared, so good news, that is gone. QEW Martindale, St. Catharines, all the way through the Red Hill Creek. So on that shot, Toronto bound coming towards us around the bend there. The 403 Junction heading to Brant Street, good. East of Royal Windsor Drive, and of course, as I showed you, Dixie Road. That collision has now cleared. So nothing happening on the roads here this morning. Let's get to our temperature. Temperature so far today, well, we're climbing. Yes, we've come up from 3 to 4 degrees this hour. The winds are fairly strong even already, but they are going to get stronger as the day progresses. Northeast at 26. It is a mainly cloudy start to the day. Here's a look at the precipitation that we're forecasting for the next 48 hours or so. You can see the brighter colors in there, some heavy downpours. That's a line of precipitation that's going to go through us today associated with a warm front, and that you'll feel the warmer temperatures today, the wind as well, and then we'll start to see a bit of sunshine for the day tomorrow and more as we get toward the middle of the week. So it's a warm front. That's represented by that long red line from that low pressure system. So what happens is you get the warm front and then the cold front follows. Temperatures go up, temperatures go down, but we do get some showers and possible thunderstorms as well today. Ridge of high pressure going to try to clear things up as the day goes on tomorrow, so we will start to see a bit more sunshine. But today, a bit of sun, maybe to start, but then look at the temperatures, 18 to 20 degrees. Halton Peel, Toronto will struggle a bit. The warm air won't quite get in there until later on this evening when their temperature could go go up, but fairly unsettled with that shower thunderstorm scenario tomorrow. Tonight, still some lingering showers, particularly in the evening. Temperatures staying on the mild side, 6, 7, and 8 degrees for the horseshoe. And then tomorrow, a little bit cooler, 12, 10 degrees after the cold front goes through, 8 degrees for Hamilton, but 13 for Halton Peel, Toronto. And there's that chance of some showers in the morning for some areas, but then we'll start to see the clearing as the day progresses. So as you step out the door, 21st of April, it is mostly cloudy. It is fairly windy already, and the temperature is sitting at +4. And we'll check long range coming up. Annette, Simone.
Okay, coming up after the break in business news, this one's interesting. An Australian-Canadian coffee shop in Toronto is enjoying the taste of victory after being allowed to put Vegemite back on the shelves. Checking overseas trading this morning, the Canadian dollar is up almost a third of a cent to 72.48 cents U.S. Gold is up $73, now trading more than $3,400 an ounce. Crude oil is down $1.43 to $63.25 a barrel. European markets are closed today for Easter.
Over in Asia, markets were down in Tokyo but edged up slightly in Shanghai. The Hong Kong market was closed for Easter Monday, and North American markets, they were closed on Good Friday. Bay Street and Wall Streets will be open today and will follow its regular sched. U.S. stock futures have extended their losses in pre-market trading into this morning.
Well, Canada and Australia have come to an agreement, avoiding a potential scuffle over Vegemite. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese thanked Prime Minister Mark Carney and his team for helping to end Vegemite Gate, ensuring that a Toronto cafe can once again have jars of the yeast spread on its shelves. The owner of Found Coffee, Leighton Walter, says he's humble and grateful that Albanese took up his cause and that Carney responded. Now, here's what the scuffle was all about. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency had asked Walters to stop selling the yeast-based spread because it didn't meet Canadian regulations around vitamin fortification. It later said a science-based assessment determined the risk of added vitamins is low.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is recalling several varieties of frozen pastries sold across Canada due to salmonella concerns. 2 brands are being recalled in Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, Manitoba, and Nova Scotia. The federal authority says some sweet cream brand and DFET brand frozen pastries are affected. The agency warns the product could have been sold in clerk-serve packages or smaller packages without a label. Visit our website at chch.com for more details.
Nearly 14,000 Ford and Lincoln vehicles are being recalled in Canada because of a potential brake fluid leak. The issue affects certain models from 2017 and 2018 of the F-150, Expedition, and Lincoln Navigator. It's those with a 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine. Transport Canada says brake fluid may leak between the master cylinder and booster, and that could reduce braking power and increase the risk of a crash. Owners may notice actually a warning chime and a red brake light come on. Ford's going to notify drivers by mail and offer inspections and repairs at dealerships. There was a similar recall in the United States earlier this month.
The cost and chaos of U.S. tariffs on Canadian metals are rising, with little hope they'll be removed anytime soon. Aluminum producer Alcoa reported its last quarter saw a $20 million U.S. hit from tariffs, and that the levies could lead to a further $90 million U.S. in additional costs in its second quarter. U.S. President Donald Trump aims to boost domestic production, but the Alcoa chief executive says that would take several years and multiple new smelters. The Canadian Steel Producers Association says Canadian companies have started cutting back on production and laying off workers.
Hey, we're taking a quick break right now. Brian is going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast.
6:24, it's Monday, it's Easter Monday, and it's the 21st of April. Let's get you going here. A little bit of sun will peek out in about 4 minutes, actually. Sunrise getting closer all the time. Here's the QEW at Glendale, and there's absolutely nothing to see right there. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound towards us, doing fine. Third line, still no problems. Sheraton looks good going through Mississauga. And here's the 403 going through Mississauga. That's just east of Mississauga Road. Really light volume so far this morning. Nothing going on as far as traffic problems or collisions. We're okay there. And the temperature has gone up this hour. We were 3 last hour. We're now sitting at 4. Bit better for Toronto at 5, 6 for Grimsby and for Mississauga. So we'll talk seasonal temperatures for this time of year. 13 now for the daytime high, so we were kind of shy of that yesterday. We got to 11 and 3 for the overnight low. Those are our sun times today and records for the day, and it looks like it's going to become unsettled as the day progresses. Now, 18 degrees today, so it's going to be milder as the warm front goes through, but the winds will pick up as well. So a bit of sun this morning and then clouds with showers and possible thunderstorms. Again, showers are possible tonight. Temperature falls to 7. 13 tomorrow, a little bit cooler with the cold front for Earth Day. We'll start off with some clouds and then it should clear as the day progresses. 14 degrees for Wednesday, 18 for Thursday. Beautiful days, lots of sunshine, cloudy and 15 for Friday. The weekend, well, it gets cooler. The chance of showers on Saturday and then sunny skies for Sunday and 12 degrees. But the interesting thing to notice on this 7-day forecast is not a minus sign there. So we're on the plus side all the way through, even overnight. So that looks good. That's your forecast. Annette, Simone.
Okay, love this race. Corgis raced head-to-head over the weekend at a derby at a racecourse in Scotland.
Oh my goodness.
That low to the ground shot.
They're so cute. Okay, this year's event saw 4-year-old Corgi Juno race to victory, reacting to his dog's win. Juno's owner said she came 9th out of 12 last year, so a little bit of an improvement there. He added, we'll be showering her with treats later. Now, the owner and Juno were congratulated by Scottish tennis coach Judy Murray, who presented them with a trophy and treats. First launched in 2022 to mark Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee, the Corgi Derby was created to celebrate the breed, which was the late monarch's favorite type of pet. She had corgis too.
Yeah, she had a lot of them.
Yeah. Look how cute
oh, they are. So cute.
I like this. Everyone's trying to make noises. Oh, look. It just crossed. Look at them go.
I can watch this all day. Maybe doing it in a commercial break. So stay with us. We've got lots more to come right after this break.